Good morning. There are 100 days until the election, and we decided that every day we would offer a teaching and a prayer, as though we're sitting vigil for hope that things will turn out well for this country and for because what happens here really matters everywhere. And we have some teachings, a short teaching every morning. Won't always be at 9:30, but you can count on us
As
at some
close as
point,
we
as
can.
close as we can be. We will offer this vigil for the last 100 days leading up to probably the most important election of our lifetime. And we decided that one of the texts we're going to use two texts. One we're going to use Jim's vigil book that came out this year, and it's a vigil. It was created out of
Actually, also about 100 days.
Yeah, right. That's what it is.
After October 7th.
Right after October 7th, we kind of sat vigil as the dust settled and the world came into a new chapter in many ways that we're still in. So we're going to use that as a text and as a prayer. And also we're going to use a text by Moshe Chaim Lusato called Mesilat Yesharim, the kind of straight table. And, you know, was a really wonderful commentator, teacher. And in this particular work, he does a teaching on 10 steps to saintliness. He takes us through a Talmudic teaching that is a path to morality, a path to moral judgment, and a path to ethical living. And that seems to be, that seemed to us to be kind of a good guide for today. So you want to begin? And, you know, of course, there'll be a little music, a little poetry, and a little teaching to carry us through these last 100 days, to kind of keep the heart of the world open for hope, keep the heart of the world open for wanting to do the right thing, and keeping us open to listening, not being shut off in our either or, you know, kind of places of being stuck, but keeping us open to have courageous conversations with people in the most loving of ways. Listening. Bridge divides. So the divides of East and West, the gender divides, the racial divides, the religious divides. Our job is to bridge all of those divides and remind us that the only real self-interest is the common good. Help us find our way to really working for the common
Even our melodies, integrative melodies, Ashkenazi form, Sephardi model, the makam. The old new approach when we feel squeezed.
Right. So, hi Diane, good to see you. Always, thank you for being there. Always
We,
good to be with you. So here's something from Vigil, from Jimmy's book.
Well, we decided to express the calmless swirl our minds were caught in, while the aspiration for peace is constant and pure. I call this piece Lih Shalom, from the tune Shalom Aleichem that we sing on Friday night. Lih signifying to or toward, an aspiration, remote and constant. Sometimes we feel the great teachers breathing over our shoulders within this hidden library of rare books and footprints. We may be sitting in a coffee shop. I wrote this for 100 days. I wrote to exhaust, to cleanse and clarify, to purge of the pressure of watching the world happen on the news. The aspiration endures. Lih Shalom. I relinquished myself to the long look. The peace we imagine will take generations. All our prayers are peace and aspirations.
Hi, Rivki. Rivki's watching from Israel. We love you too. And yeah, we need poetry, we need music, we need lift. That book was, as we said, written 100 days after October 7th, a day that certainly changed the world for all of us. And now we're in these 100 days approaching this very
Election.
consequential election.
And we have some experience doing this.
Yeah, we did it with the Psalms.
We did it with the Psalms.
At another time in our history, right here in America, where we were.
So what did we get from it? We got creativity about it.
Right.
We applied our resources to it, our sources.
And each what I loved about the Psalms project was each psalm that we started with number 1 and we got through 150.
We didn't know how many
right?
we would do.
Right, but we just went through all the psalms because there's a tradition, Jewish tradition to offer psalms for healing, and that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to heal the broken heart, heal the soul, the bruised soul of our nation, and that's kind of what we're trying to do again here by offering these prayers and these teachings. And again, Moshe Chaim Luzzatto, he begins his introduction by saying, we forget. We human beings, our problem is forgetfulness. And so in his path of these 10 attributes that we're going to kind of study a little bit each week on our path to the election, we're going to remember, because he says we know everything we need to know. It's in there. We know the path of the just. We know the path to morality. We know moral judgment. We know ethical living, but we tend to forget. Things get in the way. So he gives us from the Talmud a path, a just path, and we're gonna study those together. But we have to remind ourselves that everything we know, that we need, is in there, but we have forgotten. So this is a process of remembering.
Hodu.
So even in the darkness of this horrible tragedy in the Druze village, where all of these children playing soccer in their field were killed by an Iranian bomb from South Lebanon, from Hezbollah. It's just, we got to stop this madness. And so gratitude for common sense, Hodu. Let's start with gratitude. Find something you're grateful for. Say it out loud, because it will keep you open to finding a way to sing it and swing it and talk about it. We cannot let this keep us stuck.
Hallelujah.
We will praise the ability to lift ourselves up and find ourselves in the story. And then we will remember here,
Hallelujah,
remembering
hallelujah,
with
hallelujah.
remembering the times that we said hallelujah, that we praised God, that we praised the ability to get along with each other and stop fighting. There have been moments in human history when we haven't killed each other and killed our children.
Ki zachar etvar kudshu.
Times we remembered that holy word.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
And we praised the ability to remember what we need to carry on in honest, just, healing, hopeful ways. We will not let terror win. We will not let war win. We will not let self interest win. We are here on the path of the just, holding ourselves to the common good. Should I mention the Talmudic?
Yeah, oh yeah. Pinchas ben Yair,
Okay, so Pinchas ben Yair gave us this beautiful teaching
related to Bar Yochai.
from Avodah Zarah, from the Talmud. From this, Pinchas ben Yair taught. And, we're always in Torah. So, we're always in Torah. So Torah leads to watchfulness. We'll talk about what does that mean to be so observant, to be watchful. Watchfulness leads to zeal. Okay, fine. You can have passion. Let's figure out what the right thing to have passion is, right? Not Pinchas passion, but real passion. Passion that leads to cleanliness, purity. Cleanliness that leads to finding your lane, this notion of Havdalah, separation. We don't all have to be doing the same thing, right? But this notion of recognizing our differences, not as despairing, but as a complimenting. Separation then leads to purity, real purity, purity of thought, purity of action, purity of desire, purity that leads us to saintliness, doing the right thing. Oh my God, saintliness. Would that we would all be holy, Moses said, right? Would that we would all be holy. Saintliness, we need that. We need everybody to be saintly. And then that leads, of course, to humility, recognizing that more God, less self. It's not just about us, it's about making room for everybody. Humility leads to the fear of sin because, we all can cross the line, fear of sin. And fear of sin leads to that kedusha, leads to that holiness. And then, interesting, holiness leads to, this mechaye metim, this revival of the dead.
Breathing life.
Right. Well, how do we breathe life back into
Because
all of the things we've destroyed?
Death and life. Life and death.
Right.
Finding the eternal life to the death dealing.
Yeah. So that's the text that we're going to be studying with the guide of Luzzatto, guiding us through those 10 steps to
Luzzatto.
Breathing life back into this holy path that we're all on together in these last 100 days. So how about one more poem and one more song, and that'll be it, and we'll pick it up tomorrow. We'll be on at some point in the morning every day. At some point, we've got a few things going on this week, but we will be on at some point every morning, sometime in the morning, every day except on Shabbat.
Blessing the mud, I will bless you and increase you as the earth, as the sands of the seashore, as the sea. Look at the algae now and the horseflies buzzing over your face. I will make you as great as the horseflies, as the algae. Look up now to the sky, you will be as great as the stars. As the darkness, you will be as great as the darkness. The sand, the sea, the stars, the mud, the dark, the green, the sticky stuff on the surf, the horseflies, the early rains, and the later rains. The mud, the green, the sand, the dark. God appeared. Vayira Elav appeared everywhere, said nothing.
I think that's exactly what we're looking for in these 100 days. Those sparks of godliness out of the schmutz, out of the mud, will arise something we can be hopeful for. And of course, we do have to stop. We will have to stop like we do today and mourn the children that were killed in the soccer field in the Golan. Those beautiful children just out there playing.
Ajoshi shur chalshi in koach lenafshi.
Just like with the Psalms, we'll probably evolve a ritual around this. Again, a little poetry, a little music, a little learning together, and ending with a healing prayer. Because, again, according to Lutzato, what we need to do is remember that everything that we need is within. We've just forgotten. So this is a path of
Mercy, and we will only heal with mercy.
And remembering what we've forgotten and putting us back on that path.